Today because we want to announce and celebrate a really major award from the National Science Foundation, an award of $3 million to create a Mid-Pacific ICT Center at City College of San Francisco. And this will have a major impact upon City College because, as you know, we provide approximately 20% of the workforce training in the Bay Area here at City College of San Francisco. But this grant will allow us to actually invigorate our workforce and technology training at the college. Because with these funds, we'll be able to bring in resources that will allow us to actually establish stronger partnerships with business and other regional colleges in the area. And eventually, we will be able to make ICT as strong a force in our economy as it deserves. Because as you know, as we look at what's developing across the country, if we don't have a strong presence and prominence as far as ICT is concerned, our students will not be competitive in the workforce. Furthermore, as an example of how prominent this industry is, if you look at the recent state and national campaigns and look at those campaigns that employ these technologies, you see how prominent this is. We're very lucky to have a tremendously strong board in terms of supporting our efforts here at the college. And so for the last several years, actually not only the last 7 years, but particularly the last 7 years, there's been a tremendous support from the board in regards to technology and the sustainable movement at the college. And so we've been able to see ourselves going forward with more of these kind of grants coming in at the federal level, at the state level, and through our private and public partnerships. I would like to introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker is John Rizzo. Trustee Rizzo has shown a strong commitment to technology and sustainability, not only throughout his tenure on the board, but for years leading up to coming on the board. At various times, he has occupied a number of positions. One of them is chair of the technology committee at the college, chair of the Sierra Club, San Francisco Bay chapter of the Sierra Club, rather. He was a commissioner on the Golden Gate Park Concourse Authority. He was a member of the CSF Bond Oversight Committee. He has been able to bring his background in training. He's trained as a scientist, as an engineer, and he's been able to bring the scientist perspective as well as his passionate view on sustainability to the college and to everything that he's been engaged in at the college. So he has been a tremendous force for us in terms of leadership as far as technology and sustainability is concerned at the college. But John has also written a number of books and is featured as a speaker at many conferences. So I just want to introduce you to John Rizzo.
Thank you, Chancellor. I want to first recognize thank you. First recognize Trustee and Vice President of the Board of Trustees, Natalie Berg, and thank her for being here. She's been a long time supporter of the technology curriculum at City College and also the technology infrastructure. And our distinguished guest, Congresswoman Jackie Spear. About 20 years ago, I was working at a technology magazine and as an editor, and we had these state-of-the-art computers that everyone got a computer on their desk, and we all had a megabyte of RAM in them, and the newer ones even had hard drives in them. It was really great. But I decided to investigate some of the new products that were coming out, and you could like connect the computers together with wires, and they could talk to each other, and you could share files, and everyone was just amazed. And then a few years after that, we connected it to this network of networks, which we now call the internet. A lot has changed since then. We now have in this country an IT industry that's $500 billion and growing strong. Some people say it's one of the more recession-proof industries, and to the U.S. economy and the U.S.'s competitiveness in the international field. And a lot of people don't know this, but 4%, to give you a size of how big this industry is, 4% of the energy, the power, that electricity that's used in the United States is used by data centers, which is an astounding figure, I think. But much of the innovation that came in the past 20 years happened right here in the Bay Area by small companies and big companies. We have some giants here, Cisco in the IT area, Intel, Apple has made some contributions. And this industry needs a trained and skilled, very skilled workforce. And here at City College and the community colleges across the state, we help provide that workforce. So this is why this grant is so exciting. We have a $3 million grant to create the MPICT Center, the Mid-Pacific Information Communications Technology. Where would the computer industry be without acronyms, right? But this center will serve California, Nevada, and Hawaii, Northern California, Oregon, and Washington, to reach out to other community colleges, to collaborate with the industry, to come up with best practices in education to improve the quality of the teaching and the education that we can give to the industry, back to the industry. It's very exciting to have this here at City College, and it's a real tribute to everyone who worked to put the grant together, the proposal together, and to get it. So I'm very happy to be here. The center is in collaboration with 4 other community colleges, Ohlone College, Cabrillo, Foothill, and San Rosa Junior College, and we hope to grow that as time goes on. We'll serve 75 community colleges in these western states. So we see it as a big deal. Well, I'd like to now introduce Congresswoman Spear, a San Francisco native, just like the industry that we're talking about, or the Bay Area anyway. Newly elected to Congress in an April special election, one of 4 elections that we had in a 12-month period. But last week, she was elected to her first full term in Congress. And what an exciting time it must have been to be part of the freshman class in this historic wave of change that we're seeing led by President-elect Obama. It's just wonderful to say that. So we're all thrilled to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you, President. It's a great pleasure for me to join with this august group sitting up here. A $3 million grant from the National Science Foundation. What you may not know is that this community college, City College, is the only college in the country now to have been the recipient of 2 NSF grants. So congratulations. You know, I find myself, having been a veteran of government operations now for 25 years, to sit here and realize that government is lousy when it comes to IT. We prove it year after year. scandal after scandal, that we don't get it. And to see the college of this great city recognize the importance to get it, and to train a new generation of young people to have the skills to be able to fix the mess, particularly in government, that continues to plague us. It speaks volumes of the leadership of the board that you recognize the importance of being flexible, that you need to evolve, that the programming that you provide to the student body needs to reflect the needs and demands of this 21st century. So I'm delighted to be part of this effort here today to celebrate it. I think the fact that this is collaborative is key to its success. The fact that you're doing this in conjunction with Cabrillo College, Foothill College, Santa Rosa Community College, and Ohlone College is a great testament to your recognition that you can't go it alone. That's really very important to find opportunities to collaborate. The private-public partnerships that we love to talk about, in this case public-public partnerships, but partnerships are typically offered up as lip service and not in fact. So this is going to be a great opportunity to see it operate. I'm looking forward to seeing this center bubbling with enthusiastic young learners who are going to transform this country yet again. And it's so apropos that it happens in this region where I like to refer to it as the gold rush that keeps on happening in this cornucopia and the San Francisco Bay Area. And we are indeed very fortunate. Thank you, Chancellor, and to the trustees for the great leadership.
Okay, I think we should turn it over to Dr. Pierre, who's the PI, Principal Investigator.
Thank you, Dr. Griffith. Thank you also, Congresswoman Spear, to be here, and everybody. I will be really short in my presentation. What I really want to do is recognize the members of our team. This is really a team effort, and we're really excited. We already got started, and so that's what I'm going to do first. We have from City College, Carmen Lama, who is my department chair of CNIT, who has been working with us on these projects for a long time. Constance Connor, who is the chair of the computer science department, and Tim Ryan, who is the network manager of ITS at City College, also be working closely with us. James Jones, who is on my right here, is the executive director, and I will introduce him last because he's going to be the next speaker. But I really want to make a special recognition of our college partners. In particular, I will start with Ohlone College because Dr. Wright, who is the Vice President of Academic Affairs of Ohlone College, has given us the honor to be here, and I would like him to say a few words.
Thank you. Is this on? Yeah. Well, we're very pleased to be part of this outstanding program. Ohlone College has served the Fremont and Newark East Bay area for the past 41 years. We currently have about 8,400 full-time equivalent students, which translates to about 11,000 individual students per year. And we serve these folks at both our Fremont campus and our new campus in Newark, which we're very proud of. Our computer networking and emerging technology program has been a center of excellence and innovation at Ohlone College for the past 15 years, and I want to recognize Professor Richard Rodiga, right over there, who has been an outstanding leader both at the college and in the region. Richard keeps us focused on the 6 goals that this new collaborative will be pursuing. We've been focused on those goals locally, and now we're going to be able to join a regional partnership, and it's very exciting. So we're honored to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wright. So these are our partners. These are the people who roll up their sleeves with us, and they come to our meetings. We are the grant each of these colleges award. So already Richard Gorgat was recognized. Rick Graziani from Cabrillo College is there if you want to identify yourself. Michael McKeever from Santa Rosa Junior College, and Mike Murphy from Foothill College. I have a strong relationship with these partners. We've been working for several years. That's why when we made a proposal to NSF, it was not something on paper. It was something that was already organic. We needed some funds to make it really blossom, and that's what we're going to try to do. I would like to now pass the mic to my colleague, James Jones, who has been, who we asked to be the executive director of our center. You know, I'm the principal investigator, I'm really a teacher, and I cannot, there was no way for me to extract myself from the classroom and what is my job for the college. And so I was fortunate to have James ready to step in and to take the position of executive director. And I will ask him now to take the mic and present our industry partners who are here.
Thanks, Pierre. In the information and knowledge economies of the 21st centuries, everybody depends on ICT. Whether you're communicating with your people on the telephone, whether you're sending your email, whether you're preparing your documents, whether you're organizing your projects and your people and your resources, without the efficiencies of ICT, we'd all be in big trouble. So this is strategically important for everybody at every level, in a company, in a local economy, in a state economy, in a national economy, and in a global economy. We need to do a good job deploying ICT infrastructure and teaching people how to use it if we're going to be successful in the 21st century. The colleges that are in the MPICT region represent a tremendous potential workforce in this battle to improve ICT infrastructure and a knowledgeable and diverse workforce. Here at City College in the CNIT department, you've got about, 2,500 students a year? Constance, how many do you have in a year? 1,200. 1,200, Rick?
We have about 700 students.
Mike?
500 or 600.
Other Mike?
About 2,600.
Rick?
About 500.
If you add this up across 75 community colleges in our region, it's probably something like an Army division in this war to improve the ICT infrastructure and competency of the United States. We are very grateful to the NSF for acknowledging the importance of this and awarding us some seed money to get this started. We can't do everything we want to do with $3 million, even though that sounds like a lot, so we're going to be asking for some help from the community and from industry. We're very much not in this alone. This is a big collaborative effort. We're looking for collaborative relationships with everybody we can. Industry, community, nonprofits, government. We're very, very excited about this. This is fun technology. We're fortunate to be from the San Francisco Bay Area and Silicon Valley, where so many great ICT companies reside. We've had a very enthusiastic response from companies we've talked to. And we're going to serve as the conduit into community colleges across the entire United States for collaborative relationships with these industry partners. As representatives of industry, we have two people here today who I'd like to invite to speak. The first is Jim Belgonis, who's the president and CEO of CNIC, the Corporation for Educational Network Initiatives in California. Fabulous organization. They provide the network connectivity for all the schools in California. Following Jim Belgonis is Gary George, who's president and CEO of IP Networks, a San Francisco-based company that provides very progressive services over an optical infrastructure in partnership with PG&E. So they're using PG&E conduit and poles and assets to get to serve companies and individuals with an infrastructure that's completely independent of traditional phone companies. So, Jim?
Thank you, James. It's not very often that I'm as a representative of industry, so hopefully I could live up to the expectation there. I'd like to talk a little bit about what we see as the importance of this, and in the course of doing so, perhaps also explain a little bit about my organization. We're a little bit unique, as I think James indicated. Over 10 years ago, the visionary leadership in California's research and education community knew that high-performance networking would play really a major role for many years in empowering advances that would transform research, education, and really all of society. And with that knowledge, they created CNIT, the organization that I'm part of, which is a nonprofit that runs a kind of a private part of the internet serving the research and education community of the state. But the vision wasn't really just about bigger and faster and making things more complex, doing faster what we've already been doing, but imagining new ways of teaching and learning and performing research and so on. In '97, the folks that formed my organization knew that there were great things coming in the future and that networking would be a part of it. They didn't know necessarily what those were. Well, in 2008, I think we're starting to find out what some of those things look like. And this center, and I have to say this acronym is an interesting one, MPICT. Anyway, this center is the kind of thing that these networks really make possible. It allows the scaling of efforts, the leveraging, as we heard about earlier, of resources across educational segments and state and national boundaries, enabling collaboration between yourselves, government, talk about industry, reaching out to traditionally underserved populations. Not only improving, but ultimately redefining education, redrawing the model of how teaching and learning takes place, using as a infrastructure reliable high-performance networking. The availability of technologies such as video teleconferencing, rich media, began to reshape what we think about as the traditional classroom, erasing boundaries that we once thought of as fixed. Programs housed on one campus are now reaching millions throughout the state, as this program is intending to do. Global collaboration is also taking place. All these things are part of what the center is about, and all of them depend upon having a reliable, high-performance networking infrastructure. So the fact that centers like this are becoming a reality is really satisfying, as it validates really the founders of the organization that I'm now part of. That vision is becoming a reality. 10 years ago, everything I've described here was all kind of blue sky prediction, a kind of a prediction of a bright and happy future. Well, today we see that it's arrived. I think as a focus point for innovation and crossing these boundaries, as we were talking about, this center looks like kind of the perfect storm. Community colleges serve not only vast numbers of Californians, as we all know. It's one of the most intersegmental of all the public educational institutions, taking in students from the K-12, graduating students who go on to the CSU, University of California, and the private private universities and into industry. It's really the crossroads of California's public education in many ways, and hence the type of investments that are made at the community colleges are really leveraged and have enormous impact across the state and the economy. Congratulations are due to all of the folks that were involved in submitting this proposal, and certainly thanks are due to the National Science Foundation for the award. CNIC looks forward to being a collaborator in helping the center become a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. I think you do represent an industry of your own, which is organizations like yours, which have now sprung up across the country. The scenic model has been replicated around the United States, and education is served with high-performance networks that everybody should be proud of and benefit from. So, a few words from Gary George.
Thank you. I don't have a prepared text, so I'm hoping it's all said and done. What I've said makes sense and is of value to the audience. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Pierre, Tim, and James, and the countless others associated with the college for the second NSF award. I think it's a recognition of a tremendous job they did the first time around. I do agree, icons was a lot easier to remember than MPICT. Used to it. I'm celebrating my 20th year in broadband television, sort of since its infancy, and I can just tell you today, you haven't seen anything yet. I mean, what's coming on the horizon will far shadow anything that's taken place today. IP Networks, company I founded, came out of a lot of the work I've done in the past. And probably the biggest catalyst was moving out of California. I spent the majority of my life for 5 years, and with the intent to come back and seeing what was taking place in Europe and other parts of the country. And with the real focus on telecommunications as an economic development engine, which most people, certainly in the last 10, 15 years, was always associated with the triple play at home and these kind of things, but really the driver for commercial enterprises and the underlying business. Our company provides ultra high-speed data. A lot of the movies that you see today run over our network in terms of the development of those movies, healthcare, you name it. We're involved with the plumbers. It's a very unsexy business. We let the people like the AT&Ts and all that put their fancy names around whatever service they're doing. So it's a high-speed transport. Another big push, at least for us, is in the, we call it wireless backhaul. It's the first time in almost 15 years that the wireless carriers are upgrading the connectivity from the cell towers back to their switch centers, really so the consumer and businesses can have mobile internet, download music, videos, any of that. And none of that will happen without fiber optic based optical connectivity, which is what we do, but more importantly, as it soaks to MPICT, that's what's in their curriculum. And the countless jobs, not just in California, but nationally and around the world, there's going to be a huge demand for that. And again, the vision that they had going back a couple of years ago to put together this curriculum, again, give you nothing but view them as pioneers, because I don't think it's taken place anywhere in the country. And then to have the federal government support, both from the National Science Foundation and with Jackie's participation here and through state government. And again, the common theme you've heard so far, and I'm sure will continue, is collaboration and partnership. We've built probably the second largest last mile fiber network in Northern California today. And it's been through a series of partnerships and collaboration, and we'll continue to do so. There's not a single company, I don't care who it is, can afford to do this on their own. And again, that's where we to ensure as a plumber that our entire ecosystem is filled with people that are coming out of curriculums like this, the knowledge, the skill sets. So again, thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to acknowledge a couple of people in the audience who have been really instrumental in working with us in terms of getting this done. And one of the persons, Dean of our Science and Math Division and also our curriculum lead, Tom Bogle. And in regards to workforce, we have Associate Vice Chancellor Phyllis McGuire here, who's going to be really instrumental in terms of working with all our industry partners in terms of doing this. And the grant never would have occurred without the support of our Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs, Alice Mauricio.
I just want to make a couple of comments, and I think it's an extraordinary moment for us. When you think of the National Science Foundation being a federal organization that infused so much money into science and technology, but never considered the capacity of what community colleges could do until about maybe 20 years ago. Sputnik was the opportune time to invest, and that was done, but community colleges didn't really become part of that big picture until about 15 or 20 years ago. And they started with the Advanced Technology Education Centers as one of the big projects. And realize the capacity that we have to really affect economic development, workforce development, and technology and science advancement, given that we serve so many students who eventually become the scientists of the nation. The need for the organization to reflect on the need for security and technological advancement is why they came to the community colleges. I think the fact that we have 2 ATE centers in our college speaks well to the fact that this college has delivered, as has all the other community colleges that have ATE centers across the nation. We have delivered, we've had an impact on the economic direction of the country and developing the personnel needed to carry out the new and diverse functions that keep expanding and changing over time. Our college has delivered because of the stronghold of collaboration. Working together with people within the college and within the community. They have delivered. That delivery has been excellent. It's been recognized, and that's why we have 2 grants, both of which are extensions and expansions of prior grants. We have delivered in the past. We will continue to deliver in the past. And the team that you've just been introduced to reflects the diversity of the skills that are needed, and they do have the capacity to bring many folks together from community, industry, and the schools to affect change for our students. So I want to congratulate this team, and I will be here to support you throughout all your endeavors, and I know you will deliver and will make a difference in our communities. So thank you.
Thank you very much, and that concludes this.
Hi, James Jones, Director of the